there, Gemini. Welcome to your end of November 2024 General Tarot Update. It's Rena here. I got interrupted earlier in the day when I was starting your reading, and I just decided to forget about that part. I was going to attach it, where I laid out the cards, but it was in the daytime when there was natural light, so it would have been a different look, and it doesn't really matter anyway. So I probably didn't have to tell you that, but the heart of the matter is the Fool card. This is the first card of the Major Arcana, the 0 point. And it's interesting because I'm recording this on the full moon in Taurus, 24 degrees of Taurus, that is forming a conjunction with the retrograding Uranus. And this is occurring in your 12th house. So the 12th house is the house of unfinished business. And this is the last house, so when we look at it, look at the zodiac wheel as a continuous cycle. That when you have a full moon, which can bring things to culmination, it makes space for new beginnings. And so these new and it's interesting because I just mentioned Uranus, and the Fool card is connected to the planet Uranus. And this is because this is a card of nonconformity. Not necessarily doing what the Joneses are doing, keeping up with the Joneses, being part of the herd. Somehow you are called to shine individually and to really wave your freak flag and be yourself, whatever that means to you. In the past position, we have the Queen of Pentacles. This is a great money card. So I don't know if any of you have experienced financial abundance in recent weeks, months, or in this year. Jupiter is in your sign. So it is possible that some Gemini people have benefited financially from it, or by extension, through increased opportunities in your life as a whole. So what I would say in those cases, if particularly maybe it's through a mother, queens can be mothers, what can happen is that it allows you to forge a new path, reinvent yourself. And I would say, too, with the Queen of Pentacles, that for some people it could be like a stay-at-home mother, where it's like you're just getting involved in all of the domestic things. Pentacles is anything material. So even like working from home, too, starting a home-based business, the higher message is the Two of Wands. This is pointing to some kind of decision about career path. But as a higher message, it might be like doing two things and regarding them as your career. Yes, twos can be about choices that you have to make, but sometimes it can be the duality or the dual nature of something where you're doing both one thing and another thing. And that's just how it is. And it's interesting because here I am doing a reading for Gemini, and I even have this another two right here. And both of these can be about work, because the ones are more like career, and this is more like work. And you might say, well, what's the difference? Well, the work is the nuts and bolts of it. It's the actual getting your hands dirty. The Two of Wands, the Wands or the career is more of the glory of it, the status of it. So the 10th house is the Wands, and the 6th house is the Pentacles. That's how I see it. And so it crosses you as the Two of Pentacles. It might be there, you know, I remember reading that Gemini was very indecisive. And I was like, whoa, I thought that was Libra's, you know, infamous claim to fame. But apparently that's also true of Gemini. And you could say Pisces. But I would say, like with Gemini, one of the reasons is because you do tend to probably see things in twos, you know, being the sign of the twins. So, for instance, with, you know, you tend to be very versatile people. So you're not just maybe interested in one type of thing, but of more things. So with the Two of Wands as the higher message, it could be that it's even a card of relocation. And because Wands is about expansion, it might be that you have to commit to that, to not just staying close to home for your work, because if the universe is offering you this, there could be a like really good reason for it. And because of it, you could find that you are having this internal dialogue about, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I stay or should I go? That can be the Two of Wands. And there may be more reasons why you're reluctant to go. Maybe you're taking care of a parent. Maybe you have a child that you would have to uproot from their school where their friends are. And yet this is an amazing opportunity for you. Again, in a year when Jupiter is in conjunction with your sun or ascendant, you may find that opportunities abound, but it still doesn't necessarily make it easy to decide because there are other factors. And like I said, another two, which is crossing you, is the Two of Pentacles. And this can be spreading yourself too thin, having a lot on your plate. It's in the Rider Waite, they show like a juggler, because it's like the person is just trying to keep all their balls in the air. And as a challenge card, I think this is the story of Gemini's life, where you are always, you know, pulled in one direction or another. Maybe you scatter your forces because you have this open mind that is in love with novelty, in love with going in different directions. But sometimes if somebody goes in different directions, they never actually gain any ground. So I think with the Fool card, it's about being comfortable with the journey, not needing to know where you're going. But I still think that, you know, having a focus is always good. You know, not being too easily distracted or, yeah, like taken off course because you get caught up in some bright, shiny object. And there can also be, if you are someone who is embarking upon motherhood, or we can extend it to men and say parenthood, that can be a time when you're like taking that leap of doing something you've never done before. That's what the Fool card would represent. It's representing a whole new path. And yet, you know, there still is maybe a bit of doubt. Maybe you don't know if you're up to the task of whatever this is. What's coming in? Great card. Ace of Wands. This is like, exciting new beginnings, being really enthused about something. This could be a passion project that you are embarking upon. And to me, there's a confidence with the initiation. This is a initiatory card. I would connect it to Aries. It's a fire element card, but I would connect it specifically to Aries. And that initiation with the Fool card in the Major Arcana really points to, perhaps as we end this month, for whatever reason, that Gemini individuals feel like they're undergoing some kind of metamorphosis, and you're having this new energy come through. And the outcome is the Emperor card, and the Emperor is connected to Aries. I didn't really think about that when I laid out the card, but it is. And the Emperor is about, getting your life in order and your personal power. What is it that you can do for yourself to make things happen? Because sometimes, we rely on others. We feel like we can't do it alone. That's perfectly fine. But sometimes nobody can do it for us. And we have to, be willing to practice self-discipline. I see the Emperor as the Major Arcana version of the King of Wands, especially since I found out it's connected to Aries, because I always connected it to Capricorn. But so when you find that personal power, you're able to step out on faith and not feel insecure about it. And so I think this is a really good reading, to be honest with you. I think the biggest threat to you being able to manifest certain things is a lack of focus or a sense of indecision. So that's what I have for you, Gemini. I hope that you resonated with this. If you'd like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.